Hi everyone, it's Michelle. If you don't know me and you're new around here, I am a vintage loving, treasure hunting, mixed media journal maker. I love things that are off the beaten path, and when I find something special, I like to share it with you either in a craft idea or in my shop. Today I want to talk to you and show you a treasure I recently got at auction, which I have just finished creating a kit out of just for you guys, and I think there are so many options with this. So let me start by saying that I am very, very fortunate to have some friends that are ephemera dealers, some of the bigger dealers in the area. And recently at an auction there was an unbelievable collection of 1930s-ish, maybe a little 1940s vintage travel labels, you know, like the big beautiful graphic ones that were on the side of suitcases that you got from airlines or bus companies or railroad and hotels from all over the world. I loved these graphic labels so much, but they are so expensive. So I thought there's no way I can ever add these to my collection. And if you have been around a little while, you know that everything I put in my shop that's a digital, because I sell digital kits or digital downloads, everything I put in there is either something that's from an original source in my collection or a collection that I've licensed or borrowed from a friend that's given me permission to. These are things that I have permission to put up and sell, but are not what you can just easily find on public domain. These are part of private collections or items that are part of my private collection. So I am going to show you a little video of the original labels that my friend and I bought at auction. I was so incredibly fortunate to have a friend of mine who's a dealer be able to get these. These are like the vintage travel stickers that people used to put on their suitcases. They're so graphic and colorful. They're so incredibly beautiful. And I wanted you to see them in person, how delicate they were, how wonderful the graphics were. This is what I strive to always have in my shop, is original pieces that you can't easily find on public domain, that you have permission to use and that were part of my collection or on loan to me, or I purchased rights to them. These labels, if you tried to purchase them yourself, would be sold individually at antique stores for probably $4 or $5 a piece. A lot like this would probably cost you upwards to $100 wholesale. And I make investments in these so that I can use them, but also so that I can share them with you. I absolutely adore this one. And I hope that the things that I put in my shop are different and unique than what you see. I might not have the biggest shop in the world, but everything in my shop is an actual item. You can see the quality and the beauty of these graphics. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just incredible, isn't it? I absolutely cannot wait to use these in collage. I cannot wait to share them with you. They are incredible. The colors, the graphics, the detail. These are all from like the 1930s and 40s. And I just love them. I hope you will too. Okay, so now that you've seen the originals, and aren't they awesome? I just love the colors. I love the graphics. I love that old vibe, of the vintage vibe of the days when people would travel the country and go on holiday for a couple of weeks. And it's just dreamy to me. And I love the bold colors because so often we work in these beautiful subdued florals. And when I'm making something a little bit brighter, or I want to do a collage, sometimes it's really great to have colors. So, like I mentioned in this last little clip, my friend is a collector, and she and I like a lot of the same things, but she wants the originals in her collection. And for me, sometimes it's not that important for me to actually own the originals. I would rather go in on the purchase with her if she gives me the rights to scan them and use them in digital work. So that's what we did so that we could afford this set. She now has the originals in her collection, and I have scanned them, and this is how they came out, and I am so happy with them. This kit is all the labels you saw in that video, plus some smaller sized down ones so that you can use them in things that you might use bottle caps in, since they're graphic like bottle caps, or milk caps, I guess, and they're about the same size. So I'm going to show you, you're going to get 12 pages of options, and in this 12 pages of vintage luggage labels, you are also going to get smaller sizes for stickers and a sheet that is devoted to stickers if you want to print them out on sticker paper. So I'm going to quickly flip through them and show you. Some of them are American, like Yellowstone National Park in Philadelphia and New Mexico. I love the cowboy on there. It's so graphic. I love the graphicness of the railroad. Just wonderful. This is obviously, I don't know if that's China or Japan, but not from here. So as you can see, really great graphics. I love this Texas. There's hotels. I've downsized some of the more graphic ones so that you can use them and punch them out for other types of projects. They're all from all over the world. How awesome is this? Is that a El Conquistador? I'm not sure. Spanish for sure. This is, again, some railroad. I love the Native American imagery, the beautiful, strong women and men that are profiled. This vintage shape of Shell gasoline, and also the water skier, but right here. So really love that. Look at the Santa Fe, New Mexico. This was definitely like a luggage tag that you would fill in, again with the Shell gasoline. And I love the image of the lighthouse. We have Japan, just Mexico, Mazatlan. I love, this is my favorite one, I think. I love the writing in the rope, the details on it, the graphicness of it. Oh, I just love it. Bermuda, the beautiful subdued color of Bermuda. Rio de Janeiro. Again, some train fares. They remind me very much of milk caps. The Roaring Camp in Sacramento. Love this like cowboy image, the vintage colors, the vintage look. It's just beautiful. We have Holland and Wyoming and California. And let me tell you, if you were going to get California labels, they would cost you a pretty penny. Everything California is very collectible. The roller skating is just terrific. The Golden Gate Exposition of 1939. Frankfurt, just awesome. I was going to split this up into separate sets, and then I thought, you know what? Let me just put it all in one set. That way people can get what they want when they want, and they don't have to buy multiple sets. I absolutely love this Grand Canyon one with the, I forget what that's called, but it is a symbol of the Indians that live, I believe, in the Navajo tribe. This was obviously something to do with maybe World War I. I'm not sure. And then I took a lot of the circular ones and I put them on one sheet so they could be printed out as label, as like stickers. And if you have a Cricut that will cut around them, awesome. I was able to punch many of these out with some standard punch sizes, but they're, you know, just a really wonderful graphic set. And this is what they look like once I trim them. You saw the original video I just showed you, and how similar do these look. Now I hand trimmed these, so I chose to put a little edge on them, but depending on if you were using a Cricut or cutting them yourself. If you have vinyl stickers, you could make vinyl stickers for water bottles or for your laptop. Now again, I am selling this kit for less than $5, which is less than you could purchase one label or one vinyl sticker at the store. That is for a private use only term of use, a license. So you could use these for your junk journals, you can use these in collage, you can use these in your personal art. If you had vinyl sticker paper and you wanted to make some laptop stickers for yourself and your family for gifts at Christmas time or for whatever, you could certainly do that. But this is not a license where you can now just buy this and print these off as vinyl labels and sell them. That would be a commercial license, and you would need to contact me directly for that. This is for small business. So in other words, if you make a project with one of these, you could sell the project. That's not a problem. But you couldn't, let's say, take this sticker and put it on a t-shirt and sell 1,000 t-shirts, or make these into magnets or vinyl stickers and just sell them as is. You couldn't print them off and sell them as a label set. So that's not in the license. But what I wanted to do, because as a junk journaler, as an artist, I want beautiful papers and things in my artwork, and I'm not going to spend $100 and use originals, and I'm not going to spend $100 on paper. So I wanted to give you this whole set for less than $5 so that you could use it in your projects. If you want to use this for a commercial license, then again, you'd have to contact me for that, because this whole set in its use is for my paper people like me who want the ability to have these things and don't want to spend a lot of money because it's an art supply. So look how gorgeous they ended up being. I absolutely love them. I think they're so close to the originals. I think they're such a viable option. Now I printed these on photo paper. This here is printed on premium matte from Staples, and oh my gosh, I just love the finish. It is not really that shiny. It has the feel of almost a vinyl label. I absolutely love that. And then I wanted to show you, I printed it out on the cheapest copy paper I had, like the cheap of the cheap. And they still come out so nice. They're a little bit more vintage looking. So like, let's see if I can match this one up. Let's see if I can find one to match up as I go. You'll see it's just not as, the color isn't as bright as the one on the photo paper. I'm going to get to one eventually. Here we go. So you can see, here's the photo paper. And here is here's the photo paper, and here's the regular paper. So again, you can see one is very subdued and more of a vintage color, where this one is brighter and looks more like a shiny label. So you can do it either way. Now, what can you do with these? Well, if you go to the dollar store and go in their craft section, you can buy these tins for $1.25 for 2 of them. So that's less than 75 cents each. And many of these labels are exactly the right size to put on these tins. So you could make adorable, you could glue the label on and ink it, distress it, and make really adorable little trinket tins for your desk, to give as gifts, to put little bits and bobs in. Another thing you can do is you could put a magnet on this side and then put a label on the inside and make magnets for your fridge. I've also seen people put labels in the back of these tins and then make a little vignette inside. So let's say you went to New Mexico, you could put this in the back, and then maybe you have a rock or you have like a little artifact or a trinket, and you could build up a little tiny assemblage with like a word inside. You also have the smaller ones that if you had like a little tiny like container, you could put on the top of a really little tiny container. So that's just a couple of ideas. These make great belly bands in journals by maybe stacking them like this. Different ones of, let's say, similar size and color. You can lay them across the page and glue them, or put a strip of paper behind them, or sew up the middle of them, and then they would be on the page of a journal. So let's just get a quick journal. Oops. Say this was your page in your journal. You could lay them out and glue them or sew them and make a cute little belly band inside of your journal. Also, some of the bigger ones you could have off the side of a page, sew them in and make it a tuck spot. You could fold them in half and make them a page marker. There are so many things that you could do with them. I'm also going to show you now a few things I found on Pinterest of what people did with similar travel type artifacts and the feeling that you can get from those assemblage projects. This first project I found I love so much. This person took an old little suitcase and made a wall hanging shelf using old postcards and little vials and shells and trinkets for vintage travel. I can imagine substituting some of those postcards in the background with vintage labels and making a similar project. It's brilliant, and I absolutely love the vintage vibe. Since flea market season's in full effect starting soon, I can definitely see picking up an old suitcase and adding lots of labels to it for either home decor or storage. Simply adding a little bit of ink and some Mod Podge at the end, a little bit of wash or coffee stain. You could definitely make something very similar to this, and I just love it. This little collage is so campy to me. This person used fussy cuts of license plates and different travel ephemera, but you could use labels like this. She used a background of a large tag and covered it in a map and added all the vintage ephemera and a key. I could totally do a takeoff on that with the vintage labels. I absolutely love it. With the summer months approaching, there's no telling what you can make with a little imagination and these wonderful inspirations. They're a wonderful jumping off place. So that's it. That's my newest kit, 12 pages. The name of the kit is called Your Tripping Beautiful Baggage. So I'll have a link here in my video if you want to check out the kit. I want to show you really quick. My husband, on our anniversary, we went out west, and I ended up purchasing him for Christmas through Etsy shops different labels for his water bottle, and each one of these cost me between $5 and $7. If you were, let's say, going to some of these locations, you could buy this kit, make yourself your own water bottle labels, and save yourself some money and make yourself a great vintage travel souvenir. So see, there's just so many things you can do. I hope you'll check out the kit. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, or until I find another treasure, we'll see you later. Happy crafting!